Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Armageddon. Today we're going to be trying the Foundation Brawl decks available on Arena with the new spacecraft commanders from Edge of Eternity's commander. So we'll start with Hearthhull the Worldseed, which cares about sacrificing lands. So it's built around kind of a landfall theme. So we'll try a few games and then we'll give our first impressions of the deck after a few games. So let's dive right in. On the play, 3 lands, although 2 of them are tap lands. Colorless lands. One of them is a fetch land. I'm not sure if I'll need its ability to make a creature unblockable. Urg Spawn of Turd could be useful. Braids is nice. Groundskeeper. Springbloom Druid could be good. I think we'll try this. Wouldn't mind some interaction for Tiny Bones. There's interaction for Tiny Bones. And then don't have anything to do for 2 mana. So we'll play Groundskeeper, play Escape Tunnel, sacrifice Escape Tunnel to fetch Basic, and then I think we fetch Basic Swamp. Because I need double black for 3 of my spells in hand. Opponent removes the Groundskeeper. It's for 1 with Tiny Bones. They don't have the mana to play Groundskeeper. Gotta make sure I choose the right mode. And then I want... Oh wow, I only have one. I have more wastes than swamps in the deck. That's weird. Interesting choice. Splendid Reclamation. I think we'll play Springbloom Druid here. And I think we'll sacrifice the wastes, get green source, red source. Not really sure what the wastes are doing in this deck. Because looking at the deck list, there are no cards that specifically have a colorless casting cost. Opponent plays Nighthawk. They're tapped out, so they can't play Groundskeeper from the graveyard. I guess I could trade Springbloom Druid. The Druid's not attacking anyway. Fated Wayfinder. Could play Hearthhull here, but I prefer to play it if I can start crewing it. Splendid Reclamation gets 2 lanes, so that's not very exciting. I could Death Sprout the Nighthawk. I think we'll do that, unless they play something even scarier. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Opponent attacks, we'll respond with Death Sprout. Opponent has Corrupted Conviction. That's actually pretty good because it means we don't get the land. Roiling Regrowth. Alright, I think it's Seder Wayfinder. Hope to hit untapped lands so that we can Roiling Regrowth. There's Forest. We dodged a bullet. We actually hit a land. It would have been a disaster if we'd missed. I could also play Braids and sacrifice Wayfinder. Yeah, I don't mind them sacrificing Bloodthirsty Aerialist or me getting to draw a card. We get to draw a card. And then if opponent doesn't remove Braids, I think we play Hearthhull, crew Hearthhull with Braids. Opponent's got Fountain of Renewal, that's good with the Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Aerialist attacks, hangs back. Replays Tiny Bones. I'm surprised they didn't attack with Aerialist if they were just going to play their commander, because Tiny Bones can block Braids just fine with Death Touch. And then I think I like play Hearthhull, play Vine Soul Spider. Alright, so Hearthhull can start sacrificing lands to draw cards. And then I think I like playing Vine Soul Spider to start making Splendid Reclamation better. Because I currently have 2 lands in the graveyard. So Vine Soul Spider will start putting lands into the graveyard. And then the Bloodthirsty Aerialist is going to turn into a 3/4, so Vine Soul Spider can't block it. But I might want to have Vine Soul Spider up to block Tiny Bones. On the other hand, I'm going to regret not crewing Hearthhull if they remove the spiders, so I think we go ahead and crew. And we'll just have to let Tiny Bones hit us and maybe they cast something. There we go. So that was the right decision. I could sacrifice Hearthhull. I think we sacrifice a land here, which is not something I normally do in sacrifice decks, but this deck actively wants lands to go to the graveyard. And Tiny Bones can't get lands back.
I've conquered death, as I will conquer you. Oh, do something interesting.
Alright. I kind of want Urg to crew Hearthhull, so I think it's regrowth here. Opponent's tapped out, so they can't cast anything with Tiny Bones. Yeah, because I need Urg Binding the Old Gods. So I could use Binding to destroy Liliana here. We'll take out Liliana.
I'll actually try next time.
And then I can sacrifice lands at instant speed. Although, I kind of want to draw a land, play a land if I draw one. So I think we'll activate Hearthhull now. Sacrifice a land. Alright, we draw a land. And then I can play Malevolent Rumble. I think we fetched land. So I can activate Hearthhull. Actually, no, I can't activate. You have to tap Hearthhull. I could activate Urg. We'll sacrifice the spawn token. Opponent lets us draw. Honestly, I might just use Binding to get rid of that fountain. We fall to 15, opponent goes up to 25. I guess it's Aerialist I destroy with Binding. Opponent's got 5 mana. They're going to cast Zaral. I don't want to draw untapped land, although Terra Sunder is pretty useful. So I think we'll draw Terra Sunder, play Proving Ground, and then I think we Terra Sunder, Basilisk Collar, binding Bloodthirsty Aerialist. One shots. And then I do kind of want to hit land with binding, but on the other hand, sacrificing it, although that means they can get it back with Tiny Bones if they remove Hearthhull. So I'm not likely to block with Hearthhull. So I think we sacrifice the land. Opponent sacrifices a land. Opponent gets back Bloodthirsty Aerialist. No blocks. Opponent plays Groundskeeper. Worldseed Rage. And then I think we mill Forest so I can get it back with Worldseed Rage or Splendid Reclamation. We'll get Sheltered Thicket. I can Worldseed Rage for X equals 4. If I do it for X equals 3, then I can still activate Hearthhull or Urg. And that's enough for opponent. Alright. On we go. On the draw, it's the Jund Sacrifice Mirror match. I can play Malevolent Rumble or assemble the team on 2. We've got some interaction, the Gitrog monster. So I think we can try this. And 3 lands, which is kind of the minimum, in my opinion, that's required for an opening hand to make it work. We draw land 4, that's great. That also means that we can play Fabled Passage on 4. So I'll fetch Swamp with Twisted Landscape so I can either cast Assemble the Team or Malevolent Rumble. Opponent doesn't have a turn 2 play. Restless Cottage. Alright, so do I Rumble or Assemble the Team? Rumble does give me ramp with the spawn token. So I could play I can't play Hearthhull next turn though, because I don't have a red source, and Fabled Passage would come into play tapped. So I think we assemble the team. I guess we could use Assemble the Team to hit untapped red source. we could get our own core rolls. I think I like getting a 3-mana ramp spell. And let's get Roiling Regrowth, because I want to put lands in the graveyard. Opponent plays tap land. Nothing to do. Night's Whisper. And then Roiling Regrowth is an instant, so we'll hold it up. The other two spells are sorcery. So is Maelstrom Pulse. So this is mainly about denying information, as much information as possible. I think I just said deny information, so deny opponent. Opponent kicks Sprouting Goblin. They're playing Wastes, which is also a curious land in a tree-color deck. It's as curious in a Corvul deck as it is in a Hearthhull deck. So I've got lots of forests. We'll get forest, mountain, and then I can either play Gitrog Monster, Restless Cottage, or Hearthhull and tap land. I think I like getting the Gitrog Monster down. It's too bad I couldn't have played Gitrog Monster before sacrificing Fabled Passage, because then I would have drawn a card. But I needed to play Passage to get untapped land. And then hopefully opponent doesn't have removal for the Gitrog Monster. Although we did get to play an extra land, so it's not the end of the world if they do. But I would like to keep the Gitrog Monster around because it's very good at crewing Hearthhull. Opponent's got removal, sadly. Wayfinder. You draw. I get my own Sprouting Goblin. So I could Sprouting Goblin. And then I'd have 3 mana. So I can Maelstrom Pulse. Don't want to Maelstrom Pulse the Sprouting Goblin. So I'll just have to play a 2-drop. And then let's get Proving Ground. I played land for turn? No, I haven't. Alright. And then we'll play Wayfinder. We find Mortuary. Alright, so if Sprouting Goblin survives, that lets us through Hearthhull so I can start sacrificing lands. Opponent plays Corvul. They sacrifice a land. Alright. Can I Maelstrom Pulse, Corvold, and play Hearthhull? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can. Corvold down. It is too bad that I found tap land with Wayfinder, because if I'd hit an untapped land, I could activate Hearthhull to sacrifice land to draw cards. And then, let's see, what do I want to find with Underground Mortuary? Land is good. And then the Wayfinder can't block Sprouting Goblin anyway, so we'll just crew with it. Opponent's got Binding for Hearthhull. Alright, so I can play Zariel. Play a land from my graveyard. And then I think I like Fabled Passage. Sacrifice Fabled Passage to activate Zariel, or however you say their name. And then I think I'll fetch Red Source. And then let's put the counters on Wayfinder. And then I'll sacrifice a land to Sprouting Goblin. Put counters on Wayfinder. Draw Splendid Reclamation, which I could cast here. But I think I prefer Night's Whisper, Malevolent Rumble. So we'll hit for 5 with Wayfinder. And then let's draw first. Night-Heaped Harvest. Smoldering Marsh, that's fine. And then I've got 2 lands in hand. Maestro's Theater would be nice with Zariel, but opponent could have removal, so I think it's Arcane Signet for ramp. Putting more lands in graveyard is also good for Splendid Reclamation. Now, important to note that Zariel only triggers if you sacrifice non-token permanents, so sacrificing the Eldrazi spawn won't do anything. Opponents got their own Zariel. Can I cast Signet into Hearthhull? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8. I can. I shouldn't forget I've got the spawn token, which so I could sacrifice the spawn token to play Heat Harvest. But I want to use a mana to activate Hearthhull. And then we'll play Terramorphic Expanse so I can put more counters on things with Zarel. And then I think we'll attack with Sprouting Goblin. So it takes it. Binding is good with Zarel. Opponent might have disconnected here, so I might be skipping through them timing out. Nope, there they go. Opponents got removal for my Zarel, which, of course, important to note, they can't cast Go for the Throat on Hearthhull. So we'll sacrifice the spawn so they don't get as much mana. Leaves Hearthhull. And I've got Restless Cottage. Wayfarer is fine. One doesn't attack with Zarel. Escape Tunnel. Can I kill opponent this turn? I don't think so, because I return lands to the battlefield tapped. So I can't automatically, I can only sacrifice, I think I've got one fetch land that can sacrifice itself. Oh, we're out of swamps and mountains. But that's okay, I mainly wanted it to trigger Hearthhull. And opponent's just dead here. Alright. Excellent. On we go. On the play, 3 lands. Although I'm playing tap land turn 1, turn 2. I think I want to find a hand with some interaction for opponent's early ramp. So let's take our free mulligan. Alright. I don't really want to go down to 6. So I think we'll keep this. And then we'll have to fetch Swamp with Evolving Wilds on 1 so I can play Tasteful Offering. The only downside is we don't have any way of disrupting opponent's ramp, which I'm assuming they're going to be doing. Yeah, so one improvement that this deck could use for sure is get rid of the basic wastes and add more swamps and mountains. Because it was pretty awful that last game, not being able to fetch a land with the, whatever land that was, the fetch land from Streets of New Capenna. Opponent rams to Signet. There's Terra Sunder for Signet. I'd have to play Rockfall Vale, Deathcap Blade. So it wouldn't be the most efficient turn. This is going to be pretty sad, Fountain Port Charmer, but I think... I don't have anything else to do with mana, so we'll Offspring it. That gets another body on board. I think the Fountain Port Charmer is definitely a card that I would cut in favor of either a Landfall Ramp spell Alright, so they've got a Colossadactyl down. But I think I still Terra Sunder. Arcane Signets play the Outrider here. No attacks. Opponent does not attack. They don't have attacks, so we'll just use everyone to station Hearthhull. And the next turn I can start... I can station Hearthhull again, so I can start draining the opponent. So I think we play either Thicket or Mortuary this turn. Let's play Mortuary. Urg, Spawn of Turg. I think I'm looking for something else here. And that's enough for opponent. Alright, I'll take it. Alright, let's take a look at the deck. Alright, so this was the base deck. So I would definitely remove the wastes. There are no cards in the deck that need specifically colorless mana. So I would remove those for either more basics or more dual lands. This deck doesn't have the shock lands, so I definitely put those in. And then I would I might keep in some of the basic common fetch lands, but I probably replace some of them and maybe some basics with the rare fetch lands that you can use to fetch non-basic lands with. And then some other changes certainly would cut Fountain Port Charmer. We're not ramping out big creatures for the most part. We do have some big creatures that would benefit from its ability, but we're mostly ramping by getting extra lands into play. So Fountain Port Charmer is definitely a cut I would make. I think they did a pretty good job of building this deck in such a way to work well with Hearthhull's abilities. One card that's missing is Scapeshift, which allows you to sacrifice all your lands and then fetch that many lands tapped from your library. Because that is a way of possibly killing the opponent in one surprise fell swoop with Hearthhull. So I would definitely get Scapeshift into this deck. Anyway, it still did a pretty good job as we saw from the gameplay. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. We'll take a look at the In Spirit deck next. Hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see another Edge of Eternity's commander, let me know in the comments, and have a good one. Thanks again. Bye.